Hello everyone, Black Sentinel here, playing some more Danganronpa today. What might even actually be the last episode, I don't know yet. You'll probably see it because of the title. Yeah, I won't know. But we have officially been considered guilty, and Monokuma's declaring punishment time. We made a choice to trust Kyoko, and I think we're about to lose our life for it. This might actually end up being a very short episode. Who knows? But I'd say let's go ahead, jump in without any other wasted time. What in the world? Conveyor belt to be smushed. Are you strapped into that desk? Can you not hop out? After school lesson. Don't look tied down. Huh? What's this? What's going on? Hey, was that? Yeah, it had to be.
This is...
Alter ego? Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell. Don't believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other
What I'm
words...
saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. The stupid virus is gone now. Got it? And so is the Kodo. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage strewn pit in a way that's an even better for punishment. But still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the rest of the world. Lost it. Oh lord. Wait, who are we playing as now? Is he gone? Hey Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? What the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words...
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. What's going on? The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Well, we're way back to the start of this. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in the top students from every field imaginable, a government-funded school privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope to the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student can enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. And then I woke up. Yeah. What? Where am I? Woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? Wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Yeah. Oh. Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or is this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. Oh, I didn't even notice there's a Monokuma bear off to the right. What an awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in here till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remember all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me. And he used up the last bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now, for myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was start looking for a way out of here. What's that? That's a rocket? And a tank? Better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. What's over here? Is that an airplane? Something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit. That's it? Okay. Hi, stairs. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. Yeah, I bet. That was pointless too. Next I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. That's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed, and all I did was sleep and sleep. It's like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly. What the? A strange sound pierced my isolation, jarring me awake. Oh, more trash. As I watched a pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from above. What could it have been? Trash. A giant piece of trash just fall down here? Definitely stretch my hand out toward whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
Giant piece of trash? Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
Nice ramen on your head, by the way. This place smells awful, yeah. Kyoko,
Indeed.
you look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So,
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. Glad to hear that, Kyoko. Yeah, big garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me
Hey.
again. First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk when you're finished. Once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. Phew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up, then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. So what's up? But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
so...
To pay a debt. Or, no. To atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that, you didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there's a reason I had to survive, no matter the cost. And what was that reason? Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive.
In other words...
So that I can do what I came to the school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. Thanks for the drama. Keep increasing the tension. Say have some reason for Hope coming to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did once. Once. Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia? Then, is it really true? You lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? First thing? We're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted when I woke up. I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too. And when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point, my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why. So I wasn't crazy about there being like a time lapse in their memories. Okay, why I'd come to the school and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability, somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
It could also mean, somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. If what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make it too big of a deal out of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? Mastermind, one of us? If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In that case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. Why me? Because among everyone, you're the least likely to be mastermind. That was just intuition, but I see. Your intuition was right. There was no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay. stay here.
Oh yeah, the dream. It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Listen.
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now I still trust you, you know? I'm just not used to relying on others.
correct.
No, I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. Can you tell me how the hell we're getting out? You said you got a reason for doing all that investigation on your own? Investigating on your own? So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I'm finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. Oh, really? Cool. I wonder what your ability is. You mentioned your ability?
I-
My ability. What everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. The ultimate detective?
correct.
And the reason I came to Host Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone, too.
So,
Well, as the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
in other
I was
words,
separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster? Then that explains. An alter ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved.
I,
I'll find a way.
Huh?
No matter what it takes, I'll find the headmaster. I will find
no
the
matter
headmaster.
what,
No matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on? Yeah, so that's
I-
why she did that way back when. Memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes
However-
sense. But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then what did you see in there?
so,
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess. The desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. I mean, the mastermind, right?
it's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. Some kind of map?
Indeed.
The layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. Found it in the headmaster's room, along with Mukuro's profile in that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
That's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
Once I got there, I noticed the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. Second floor of the dorms. So what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean? I
so,
can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. And I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. Sounds like it must be important and really ominous. Can we get out? Of
however,
course, once I got to... Okay. Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. Has to do with Mukuro Ikusawa,
however,
doesn't it? Just be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then who did kill her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusawa was to get me killed. Get you killed?
indeed,
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
correct.
That was the point of the class trial. was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
hey,
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mikuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mikuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. I could have become the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean that night? Yeah. During the night?
I
can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell and I saw a white shadow across the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran to your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... whoever the mass assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mikuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. And that's really bad. If true, it means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right. That is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So, what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mikuro is the ultimate despair and that she's dead. I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
Think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event.
That's right.
What happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate
It would
despair.
seem
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair.
Indeed.
Make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Ah, chapter 5 done? Is there a chapter 6? Is it prologue? What we got? 6 students. So now we know for sure there's only 6 students left. That we 6 are the last. Green Island Rocket. Okay. 5 alive. I have an achievement that says 5 alive. I didn't just read that out of nowhere. I guess here. That was weird. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. The same people who put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now
anyway.
we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Coco, do you still have that one thing? One from a secret tool that you got from the headmaster?
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right? right?
That's right.
That's right. And we should be able to use it on that door, right? Open that one. Hey, Kyoko, can you use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid into the keyhole. And then, yes, it opened.
Indeed.
Now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. Quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Nice. Finally. Whoops. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief. Because the real fight had just begun. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. Deadly life. I didn't even get school life, I just got deadly life. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up to into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into the darkness. The passages were so dark and cramped I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Hey,
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off of it. So, Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? How long have you been doing detective work? How long?
so...
Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? Isn't it's like your family tradition, right? So,
Right.
because we take pride in it. Pride.
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society, which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. Conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because like I said, it's our source of pride. So that explains. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. But she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. The reason he gave up that pride, the reason he would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, is because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However...
There is something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? Last time I saw him, I was still very young, so I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, he had a promising future.
However...
He had no interest in detective work, so he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. And young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I had gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He has his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? That's not
However,
true. But there's one thing I can never forgive. Really? The
so
way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
however,
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They saw me as a little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need him to step out of his shadow. I need to step out of his shadow.
correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot me years ago. But your family? Just cut him out like that?
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul?
Hey.
No. Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after, I don't know how long, finally reached the top. Yeah, that was a long ladder climb, if you guys were able to talk for that long. Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember on that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should be open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reach my right hand up, push against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Oh, it's not made of metal. Why did it creak like it was made of... it's made of metal, so why did it creak like it was made of wood? Looks like we're back. I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. Can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of here. We're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Yoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. Didn't go back down? That's how he got out of the garbage pit. I would never imagined that was like. So what's now? Now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out, I'm worried about you, too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then,
Well, let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
in other words,
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's...
however,
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out, and it's not like we can run away. And she said that she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't.
because
Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared. You said something like that before. What does it mean?
so
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
right.
We can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little, super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the
Shall we
gym.
go?
Let's get going. Thanks, Kyoko. Alright, I'll get out of here then. In the area? Yeah. Meow, got the zoomies. Meow. I bet everyone's gonna be like, what the hell? You're back? You're here. Through Hope's Peak Academy. All the way down to the other side of the universe, of the first floor, into the gym. I saw something
Well now.
But nope, it was just my dog who was going around. Hey. Kyoko, I don't mind so much.
I don't believe it!
What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really going to be okay? You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do?
Shing!
If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. For now,
Making me angry!
I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko,
Right.
do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However,
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
no.
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right?
Huh?
I lose?
Hey!
You. Explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in the way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
in other
I was
words,
supposed to be chosen as weapon and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
however,
Then Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect the other like that.
right,
In response to that unexpected development,
indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blacken and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that, you must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you killed it.
am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro. You did.
Listen to me.
So asking Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blacken is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the Blacken is me and not Makoto?
Well?
And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? To make such a bold claim without a shred of evidence.
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find
That's
some.
right.
No matter how deeply you try to bury it, there's only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. You would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
however,
But here we are confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the
And
heck?
that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey.
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh?
Indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey,
Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'd be accepting your own defeat. Yeah, he's not happy. He's been cornered. If you want to earn our despair, fair and square,
that's what we have to do.
I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time, you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Hey,
Well, That would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? Fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Nukuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. For what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed. Very.
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. Still time for bear jokes. Now what you've suggested might be plausible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
In other words,
Does that mean you accept this?
You guys!
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? It would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely
Let's have
contain
one final
myself!
Grizzly showdown. He agreed. We still have a shot at
Barrett!
this. But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing a killer is barely a fitting end.
You guys!
So for this final face-off, you have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries. That's right, every last mystery that's clawing around the school, if you can do that.
I can barely contain myself!
Qualify as a victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Nukuro's death and solve the mysteries of the school,
You guys!
then you win. If you can't do all of that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? Or as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this all turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held?
What's
I
wrong?
remember that, for sure. So what?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement? You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial from Nukuro is no exception to that. Huh? Nukuro's trial is no exception, then it's part of the regulations? Which would mean that whoever killed Nukuro... It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 students, all of them high school students. The only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why'd you go all quiet all of a sudden?
Now I'm really angry!
Nothing left to say to you. So get lost, will you? Why so mad? He seems emotionally unstable.
Hey!
Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going. Really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
Hey,
Come on, Makoto. Let's go. Okay. Alrighty then. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. What in the world? I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Hey, Kyoko, what the hell's going on? Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because
However-
of you. Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they? They
So,
had no choice but to accept, huh?
because
It's all because of that one moment when the mastermind let down their guard, like I said. So when the mastermind let their guard down, so when was it with that the mastermind let their guard down? I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
listen,
What do you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
And yet somehow the mastermind was able to do it.
in other words,
Think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason?
so,
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost, us killing each other. They wanted to show the world.
it would seem,
Mastermind had been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all the rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other words,
So the Mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us all kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope, to kill each other and sink into despair. The Mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal, is the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that is ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is ridiculous, completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. A group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto,
I know how angry it must make you, and yet that same motivation is what led to the Mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
in other
If
words,
their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world, that Mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the Mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very least,
At least that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. That's why the Mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves?
indeed.
That's precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of the regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. In my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they try to use... See? That's the thing. They bring up Junko all over again. Like, after all this time, Junko just gets brought up randomly. Not a coincidence. I don't believe it. Nah. So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the Mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. When that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the Mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove that to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the Mastermind harm to have it shown that they violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the Mastermind to accept the
however,
challenge. Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance, because you believed in me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the Mastermind's thoughts and plans you're able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet.
Whew.
Well, it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. But a quick sigh. It took a small sign. It I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I showed my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. Pathetic.
However,
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this
Correct.
time. Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. We can't defeat the mastermind. It'll cost us our lives. There's no option except to
hey,
win. But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Working together with everyone.
however,
Is that really possible? Huh?
anyway,
right now, we have to go find the others.
shall we go?
They're probably in the dorms somewhere. Shall we go? Sure. Let's go to the dorms then. Spare hotel. Open my map. Kyoko's with me. Or Kyoko's somewhere around here with me. She's somewhere on this floor with me, I imagine. Oh wait, was she actually in the dining room? Is that what I saw? No, she was out here in the main hallway. What the hell? She's not down that way. She's not over around here. Weird. Do I need to actually go to their dorms? Kiyotaka, Makoto, Mondo, Byakuya? This is Byakuya's room. Is he inside? No.
Hey,
I don't think he's here. Come on, we need to keep looking. Okay, Sayaka, Toko. This is Toko's room. Is she inside? Knock.
hey,
I don't think she's in here. Come on, we need to keep looking. Chihiro, Celeste, Aoi. This is Nina's room. Knock.
Hey.
Knock. I don't think she's here. We need to keep looking. Leon, Yasuhiro. Knock.
hey,
Nothing's here. Come on, we keep looking. Okay, let's go to the dining hall then. That's the only place I'd imagine they're at now. And suddenly we were greeted with... that. Have fun reading that. You again. Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. Jeez, what the heck?
however,
Wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief.
Is that Makoto?
Yeah,
Guys!
in the flesh.
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
You survived?
Jeez. You're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
Everyone was there. All my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
Wait, what's that smell?
What the heck?
Yeah, man, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog. Get away. Shoo. Look, man, look. And it flashed, my tears dried up. Jesus. Okay. That is actually all the time I've got for this episode. We will reunite with them in my stanky self. Well, me and Kyoko are pretty stanky right now. I'm probably stinkier, though. But we'll reunite with them in the next episode. But oh, thank goodness we're alive. There's more content. Maybe the next one's the last one. It could be. There might be room for another one. Who knows? But right now, that's all the time I've got left. But we survived. We lived to see another day, and now it looks like we got a final showdown against despair versus hope. So we'll see how that goes. But if you want to see how it goes, seriously, go hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, as well as the bell icon so you get notified when I upload. And it would do me a great service if you, hit that like button down there. That way my content does reach other people. And if you want to leave a comment, that'd be pretty nice. And maybe if I have some chances here and there, I'll be able to reply to some of them even. But yeah, that's going to be all for now. And we'll see what the Hope versus Despair arc has for us in the next video. For now, that's all. Black Sentinel, logging out.